Hi, this is David. I am doing thrillers of all kinds right now. First up, we're doing Nurse 3D. This is kind of a slasher slash thriller. It's considered an erotic thriller because there's lots of nudity and the woman on the cover seduces people. Very good movie. It's like not the greatest, but it's fairly decent. Next up, Single White Female, which if you've seen The Roommate, this one, Single White Female, is pretty much similar. It's kind of like this is the original, like Lil Kim, and The Roommate's like Nicki Minaj, which is kind of a spinoff. Ha 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 ha. Anyways, if you enjoyed The Roommate, you'll definitely enjoy this. Sliver. It's about Sharon Stone's character finding this very cheap condo or apartment, and the landlord, which is this guy, which is William Baldwin, plays the landlord, and they get into this erotic twist and stuff like that. Next up, Poison Ivy Trilogy. Drew Barrymore, Alyssa Milano, and Jamie Presley. Very good actresses. This is not the best thought of one, but they all have something very unique, and it's a B movie, so don't expect too much from it. It's very good, very seductive and stuff like that. I really greatly appreciate it, and the plot line is fairly well done out well. Next up, Basic Instinct and Basic Instinct 2. They are both the original of the original of the erotic thrillers and stuff like that, which is very good. And it's Sharon Stone's earlier roles. Swim Fan is very similar to Fatal Attraction. A girl getting obsessed with a guy and stuff like that. So I kind of like it. It's kind of a teen version of it. Next up, Fatal Attraction, of course. It's kind of like the rated R version of Swim Fan. So if you like Swim Fan, you'll like Fatal Attraction, or if you like Fatal Attraction, you'll like Swim Fan. Swim Fan's like for the younger generation, and this is for like a little bit older generation, or anybody for that matter. Silent House. It's a supernatural kind of psychological thing because she's being chased, she's having issues, things are surfacing that she really wants to forget. It's a very good movie. And the Spanish version is also called Silent House. But I like this version better. Double Jeopardy. It's a cat and mouse game of Ashley Judd's character supposedly killing her husband, quote unquote, and then she was released on patrol, and her patrol officer is Tommy Lee, and she finds out that through a phone call that her husband isn't dead, that he faked it all. So it becomes a cat and mouse game and stuff like that, and it's a very good thriller. I quite enjoyed it. Hide and Seek. It's a little bit like Secret Window with Johnny Depp. It's kind of like, whodunit killing and stuff like that, and there's a very good twist at the end. If you do know the twist, don't spoil it, please. Resident. This is kind of like the modern day version of Psycho, except for that the initial character does not get killed off. So Hilary Swank's character finds an apartment very cheap, and she's a nurse, doctor actually, and a surgeon, and the guy over here is the landlord, and he becomes obsessed with her and stuff like that and whatnot. So it's a very good one. You can look these up too. Amusement is an anthology of 3 young girls getting attacked by this killer. It's a little bit kind of like urban legends almost, where it's kind of like, it's a slasher film, but it's psychological because there's not too much blood and gore and stuff like that, and it's a cat and mouse game. So I would definitely recommend it. Them is a Spanish film of this couple who gets attacked in their house in the countryside by teenagers. They look like they're 17, 18-ish. It's a little bit like a different version of The Strangers, but I like this one more because I find it more suspenseful and more kind of scary and shocking. I felt like that The Strangers, even though The Strangers was good, I felt like it was a little bit too methodical and I like something that's a little bit different, a little bit scary. Next up, Children. Apparently this is a remake of a very old film by the same title. These children become ravages. It's a whole family, so aunts, uncles, cousins, and stuff like that. The cousins are fairly young, like probably I think that there's a couple teenagers, and then most of them are like around 10, pre-teens-ish, you might say. And they become ravages, and you don't know if they're going through a phase, or if they got sick, or they got some, you know, wild disease or something like that. It's more left up to the imagination, but I fairly like it. Next up, Eden Lake. A couple, it's kind of like Them, but on the lake side, where they run into some problems with teenagers, and they get chased by them, and you're like, oh, teenagers, oh, you can take care of them, but yeah, this will kind of make you rethink, especially when they are vicious little things who don't really have morals, who are only about themselves. Anyways, next up, The Strangers. I like this one a lot. It's very kind of psychological and stuff like that, but I think they could have done better with the scares and the suspense. That's my only problem with this one. Next up, Vacancy. Another one, a couple who having marital troubles ends up breaking down, and they go into a hotel, and then they get attacked. Very good. And Vacancy 2 is kind of the same thing, but it's a bunch of friends, but it's the first cut, so it's the beginning, so it's a prequel. Both like them very much. Next up, No Good Deed. It's about a woman who invites this guy in. This woman invites this guy in, and that was kind of a big mistake because he turns out to be not a good guy, and you kind of find out why. Next up, Perfect Getaway. Psychological thriller. The whodunit, and then it talks about the killer's past, and it's like kind of like a survival kind of thing. I really, really recommend it. It's a little bit slow at first, but then it picks up. The Orphan. Talks about a girl who's adopted, and then she tries to manipulate the whole family and seduce the father and stuff like that. And don't get any bad ideas about adoption, because I'm all for adoption, and this rarely happens. Well, that's it. Remember to like, share, and remember to like my page, dscan aka Scorpio Korea, and remember to see all my other videos and subscribe. Bye!